I'm seeing a really interesting development on social media, specifically on Twitter, and that is people posting insights and visuals from the past. And they do this in sort of threads. So you'll have guys who post beautiful architectural buildings in Leipzig or cathedrals. And in some cases, analyses of these are interesting lines by Machiavelli or by Charles Dickens. And I came across a series of quotations from Napoleon's speeches. This was posted by a guy named Josh Dolani, and it's in a thread. He talks about the fact that the French writer Balzac, made notes of Napoleon's statements and put these together in a sort of collection. That's how we know the things that Napoleon said, because Balzac was there, and he also saw those speeches reported in the local press. So I want to look at a few of Napoleon's statements because they seem to me to be bristling with insights. The first one is, I found the crown of France lying in the gutter and picked it up with my sword. What Napoleon is saying is, I wasn't one of those French kings. I did become the emperor, but I became the emperor through conquest. It's almost as if the French kings could not hold on to their country. They dropped the crown in a gutter, in a sense, debasing it. And I didn't get the crown directly through being next in line or being the son of a king, but I got there probably the way the first king got there, which is by the sword. Here's Napoleon again. Political freedom is an accepted myth thought up by those governing to put the governed to sleep. Now, this is a very provocative line because it implies that political freedom doesn't really exist. But what Napoleon is getting at here, I think, is that power in any society is concentrated at the top. There are always a few people who make the key decisions. And this is, by the way, true not just for a country, it's true for a company, it's true in pretty much any institution. And what Napoleon is getting at is a different political system, different ideologies are different ways of, in a sense, disguising the fact that there's always going to be a few people ruling. We think, oh, there's monarchy, there's oligarchy, there's democracy, radically different forms of government. And Napoleon is saying not so different, because in all these cases, a few people are running the show. Here's Napoleon on equality. Social law can give all men equal rights. Nature will never give them equal faculties. I think the implication of this that is quite profound is that equal rights is not a way to assure equal outcomes. On the contrary, equal rights is a way to provide more legitimacy for inequality of outcomes. Why? Because nature has distributed strengths and talents, whether physical strength or intellectual brilliance or emotional insights, very unequally. And so in a condition of equal rights, which is similar to an Olympic race where the clock goes on, the gun goes off, everybody starts on the same line, but guess what? The person who's the faster runner thus hits the finishing tape and collects the gold medal. So nature, says Napoleon, is not giving people equal faculties. A lot of our problems in society today, the phenomenon of people who lack self-esteem, or even the trans phenomenon, a rebellion against this simple fact of nature. Now we turn to Napoleon on the French Revolution. The nobility would have survived if it had known how to master the writing desk. What an odd statement. Napoleon is saying that you might expect him to say, well, the nobility would have survived if they had better armies and they knew how to crush the rebellion. But no, says Napoleon, the problem with the nobility is they didn't have propaganda. They didn't know how to make the case for themselves. They didn't know how to convince the French people at the time when the French people were like, what is the nobility doing for us? They couldn't say, hey, guess what? We're doing A, B, C, and D, and any other system is going to be inferior to our own. They couldn't make that case. And, says Napoleon, that's what brought us the French Revolution, which, by the way, ended with Napoleon himself coming to power. And then the final quotation I want to discuss from Napoleon, well, two of them. He has a comment on courage. Courage cannot be counterfeited. It's a virtue that escapes hypocrisy. Here's what he's getting at. Any other virtue, you can pretend. You can pretend, I'm a kind, compassionate person. All these people who posture as compassionate. You can even pretend to be intelligent, learn some big words, spout some phrases. You can pretend to be a lot of things. But, says Napoleon, courage, which is revealed in a given circumstance, either you are or you aren't. There's no such thing as pretending. Either you run toward the traffic, you run toward the enemy, or you don't. And finally, Napoleon on policing. The art of the police consists in punishing rarely and severely. His point is that if you administer a light punishment, you got to do it a lot. You administer a heavy punishment, but do it rarely, it has precisely the deterrent effect it's supposed to. So here you see in Napoleon a guy who knew something about managing armies, but also managing countries. Some insights to think about that are applicable, it seems to me, to our own time. Mike Lindell invented MyPillow 20 years ago. He sold over 80 million MyPillows. Wow. Now, to celebrate their anniversary, Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank each and every one of you and give you the lowest price on the Giza Elegance MyPillows. You can get a queen-size Giza Elegance MyPillow for $19.98. Regular price $69.98 and just $10 more for a king size. Go to MyPillow.com to get Mike's amazing offer on the Giza Elegance or call 800-876-0227. Use promo code Dinesh. The offer comes with a 10-year warranty, so you know it's going to last, and a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. It's time to start getting the quality sleep we not only want, but need. So go for it. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-876-0227. Use promo code Dinesh to take advantage of Mike's special offer on the Giza Elegance MyPillow. Great deals, by the way, on all the other products. Again, the number to call, 800-876-0227. Don't forget to use the promo code DINESH, Dinesh.